15 days after the debut of the 2012 season on the track of La Conca in Muro Leccese, the WSK Master Series is back on track for the second round in the city of Sarno. This is an appointment that may reserve some surprises concerning the first winners of 2012 for some of the 5 classes involved. The first piece of news, spreading like wildfire among the 240 drivers, 10% more than the first race of La Conca, comes from Milan. The World Council of FIA decided to cancel starting speed control. A nonsensical measure which rekindles serious safety problems during the most dangerous moment of the race, the start. Before this, pilots were forced to maintain a speed of around 50 km per hour, while now the starting speed does not have a limit. Pure madness, a step backwards in terms of safety. The international track of Naples, better known as the track of Sarno, is home to the second race of the season. The track is built at the feet of Mount Vesuvius, and its 1,699 meters of asphalt are a piece of 19 years old karting history. Next year, this track is going to celebrate its 20th year of racing. The landscape surrounding the track is definitely fascinating, and the city of Naples is just a stone's throw away, just 30 kilometers to the west. Recently, Naples has tasted motorsports at its highest levels, as these images clearly show.
Hello everyone, here we are in beautiful Naples, ready for a Formula One show car run with Red Bull Racing. Time to take the rubber away. Yeah, no, the first run was good. I mean, I cannot believe how many people are here. There's thousands of people. All the way down, all the way back. Very good atmosphere. Fantastic, cheers.
After some free practice, the drivers of the WSK Master ran their qualifications on a dry track, even if the sun was shrouded in clouds. In the Mini 60, the Englishman James Poole won the pole position. The Emilia kart rider behind the wheel of a top kart pulled off a time of 1 minute 15 seconds and 775 milliseconds, beating Leonardo Lorandi, winner of the La Conca race, by only 102 milliseconds. In the KF3 class, it was Alessio Lorandi, Leonardo's brother, to pull the best time. The baby race pilot, driving his Tony kart, has 155 thousandths of the Englishman George Russell on Intrepid. Third time for Englishman Callum Ilott, winner of the first round of La Conca. In the KF2 class, Felice Etienne, after the triumph of Muro Lecce, clearly states his determination in the conquering of the 2012 title by winning his pole position. The pilot of the CRG beats the Norwegian Dennis Olsen by 89 milliseconds. Third is the Dutch Max Verstappen. Among the most veteran drivers of the KZ2 class, the Czech Jan Mederla conquered the second pole of the season. The Yoka kart driver, behind the wheel of a Birel, was just a few thousandths of second ahead of a long list of Italian drivers, right in this order. Riccardo Negro, Leonardo Fuoco, Francesco Cani, Gianluca Celenta, Loris Spinelli, Marco Zanchetta and Massimo Dante. In the KZ1 class, the Premier class, the Dutchman Joris Pex runs straight from the pole position. Behind the heels of the CRG Holland driver, the Czech Patrick Hayek, running for Praga, and the Belgian Yannick de Brabander, Formula Kart. When the qualification heats were done, we headed straight to the Birel paddocks, where we met Marco Angeletti and we discovered the features of the new engine which is boosting the drivers of the Northern Italy company on the tracks. BMB is the motor manufacturer of the Birel Group. It is a project born 4 years ago to provide the Birel Group with an internal motor company, in order to standardize it with the other major houses of the karting world. Providing our own engines for all of the karting classings was deemed to be technically strategic. This project started 4 years ago and our first commitment was to KF2 and KF3 categories. Now we are among the best of these classes and our results corroborate us. Last year we began working on the KZ and mini kart categories, the two classes still missing in the karting range offered by BMB. Right now, we can say the 2012 began with BMB being competitive in all categories of international karting, and by being among the best on the national level, regarding the engine of the Mini 60 category. Having BMB as an engine manufacturer is of the utmost importance for the Birel Group, because this allows our engine technicians to continually develop our technology. We can thus provide specific categories with on-the-spot solutions without leaning exclusively on external manufacturers. These companies still work with BMB, allowing us to give appropriate customer care and provide a better service. BMB deals with the main development, while the external engine technicians working with us often succeed in giving top-notch performance also to external competitors. Just think of Felice Etienne, CRG, who is racing with BMB technology and performed wonderfully, or so many other riders driving for Tony Kart. There are engine companies as the Czech KVS, one of the most influential in the world of karting, which chose BMB and works with us. Also, STM of Sambo and many other engine technicians have chosen us as a partner. For example, Diego Bertonelli, racing in KF3, with engines designed by Mauro Villa. Villa is a 30 years experienced veteran of kart racing and won the World Championships with Lucy and other very important drivers. We can therefore state that BMB today is deeply rooted in the world of karting, both with the official structure following the development of Birel Motorsports and with external engine technicians who give out tremendous support to rival teams. took 30 rounds of qualification to select the starting lineups of the finals and of the pre-finals. 30 thrilling and challenging hits. The Mini 60 class was led by Leonardo Lorandi with 2 victories, while the third one was conquered by the English Max Futrell. Good performances for James Poole and Logan Surgeon. In the KF3 class, the Russian Nikita Sitnikov showed his muscles with a breathtaking full house of victories, 3 out of 3. The Komarov team driver will have to deal with the English Elliot Callum, the Spanish Alex Palou, and the Italian Alessio Lorandi. All of them won at least one round. There's a heartfelt uncertainty for the winner of the KF2 class, but the goal of the final victory is shared among many. The best among them was the home pilot, Felice Tiene. Behind the wheel of his CRG, Felice won all Saturday heats. Antonio Fuoco, Max Verstappen, and the Norwegian Dennis Olsen raced just below his performance. All of these drivers, in fact, won at least 2 rounds of qualifications. Unless the unexpected takes place, we foresee that it will be the last checkered flag of the entire season to decree the final KF2 winner of 2012. In KZ2, spectacularity flared up immediately, with 2 rounds showing perfect competitive balance between the Italian Marco Zanchetta, the Kazakh Jan Miderla, Riccardo Negro, the Englishman Lennox Lamb, and the Swedish Douglas Lundberg. Finally, the KZ1, featuring the same protagonist of Muro Lecce, Frenchman Arnaud Kozlinski and the Italian Marco Ardigot, both willing to claim the second victory of the season. Together with the 2 of them, all the drivers distinguished themselves on their round for victory. The 2 Belgian champions, Jonathan Thonon and Rick Dreesen, Dutchman Bas Lammers, and the Italian Mirko Torsellini. 30 white-hot heats that we summarize in these spectacular images. The first stage pre-final was the Mini 60's youngest drivers one. Starting right from pole position, the English James Poole immediately took the command, ahead of Sergeant Logan, who started from the second row, Max Futrell from the first one, and Leonardo Lorandi, who was able to conquer the 4th place. During the first lap, Lorandi broke the ice by passing into second position thanks to 2 dashing overtakes. During the second lap, Lorandi was right at Poole's heels and overtook him on the paddock band. Once first, Lorandi tried to dash forward, but without any particular success. It's the Big Shots trio leading the race: Lorandi, Futrell and Garofano, while Poole slipped back into 5th position. In the 4th of 6 laps, Garofano overtook Futrell, thus winning the 2nd place. During the last lap, something unexpected happened. Remigio Garofano approached Lorandi and overtook him on the very last corner before the finish line. But Lorandi collides with Garofano, ending out of the track, while Garofano slowed down to keep racing, allowing Futrell and Martinez to pass him. Lorandi, on the other hand, will not finish the race and will be ranked as the 30th driver. two pre-final races for the riders of the KF3, divided into two groups. In the first race, Russell takes the lead while the French driver Boccolacci goes off track at the first corner. Behind the intrepid pilot, Lance Stroll dashes forward from the third row, and Callum Ilott follows. The head trio is followed by three Italian drivers, De Marco, Cunati and Corberi. During the fourth of the 12 laps, Luca Corberi emerges from the backlines and tries to catch up with the head of the race. George Russell manages to dampen further fighting spirit of his opponents by distancing Stroll's and Illott's Zanardi karts and by leading his intrepid car to the victory. Corberi comes in fourth, and will have to make do with the fastest lap of the race. The second race is even hotter than the first one, featuring the Russian Alexei Sitnikov and the Italian Lorandi starting from the front row. When engines start roaring, Sitnikov takes his Tony car to the first position, while right behind him the English Connor Jopp darts forward and ends up second, right beyond the back of the Russian, whom Jopp overtakes during the first lap. During the second lap, Sitnikov takes back the lead, followed by Lorandi and Piccini, while Jopp loses 3 positions. On the third lap, Lorandi and Piccini pass Sitnikov, who, though, remains right at their heels. Jopp, in the meantime, comes back to the leading group. The challenge at the top of the group is exciting, with continuous changes of position and dominance. The final part of the race is even more thrilling. On the last lap of the race, Lorandi returns to the command group, while at the same time, Jopp's distance from the group of pursuers is dramatically reduced. It's just the last 2 bands before the finish line that grant Piccini with his second place and Ticktum with his third. The pre-final reserved to KF2 drivers is the last schedule. When the lights turn green, Max Verstappen immediately overtakes Felice Etienne, who is firmly starting from pole position. Right at the back of the intrepid driver, there are now Felice Etienne and the Norwegian Dennis Olsen. A small group consisting of Stefano Cucco, Antonio Giovinazzi and Paolo Ippolito is fairly outdistanced. In the early laps, Felice Etienne tries to attack Verstappen in the fastest part of the track, but the Dutchman responds with determination. By the fourth lap, Max Verstappen begins racing a series of record laps which allow him to conquer an edge of almost 2 seconds. Felice Etienne wins the second place ahead of Dennis Olsen, Stefano Cucco and Paolo Ippolito. The first 2 finals of the KZ1 and KZ2 took place on Saturday afternoon. At the green lights, Zanchetta leaves everyone else behind and brings his energy car to the front of the pack, quickly followed by Mitterla, Lennox, Dante and Cavalieri. Marco Zanchetta immediately tries to open a sensible gap between himself and Mitterla, while Lennox is actively scanning his adversary, looking for a breach in his defense. The top group keeps compact, and during the third lap, Mitterla attacks Zanchetta in the paddock band and overtakes him. During the fourth lap, Zanchetta also loses second place in favor of Lennox. On the fifth lap, Lennox Lamb studies Mitterla, and in the next lap he passes the exact driver in the fastest point of the circuit. During the 8th lap, Lennox Lamb is able to take the fastest lap of the race, leaving Mitterla and Zanchetta far behind, who are helpless to improve their ranking and must be happy with their positions. Once the KZ2 final is finished, it is up to KZ1 driver to play their first final. At the green light, Kozlinski takes the lead ahead of Dresen and Tonon. But Marco Ardigo's start is the most efficient. At the first band, the Italian driver, who was starting from the 4th row, is able to conquer the 4th position. The racing fury of the Tony Kart champion does not dwindle, and during the first lap, Ardigo attacks and overtakes Tonon for the 3rd place. In the second lap, Dresen passes Kozlinski, who loses the lead. In the meantime, Ardigo is right behind the French driver, and at the very critical point of the paddock band, he gains the 2nd position. Marco Ardigo is on a driving spree, and seeing him drive is a real pleasure to the eye. During the 4th lap, Ardigo records the best lap of the race and approaches Dresen. It's just a question of time before the Belgian driver of the Tony Kart must kneel to Marco Ardigo, showing the Italian driver as no rivals. Two record laps warrant Ardigo with a safety distance, while behind them Thonnen overtakes Kozlinski and engages a duel with Dresden for the second place. The last overtaking of this wonderful final is a gift from Thonnen to all of the spectators, allowing the Belgian to conquer the second place. The CRG driver tries to chase down Marco Ardigo, but the Tony Kart champion is too far for everyone else, and thus conquers a well-deserved success. The first of the Sunday finals is the Mini 61. English Max Futrell is starting from the pole position, alongside with the Spanish Eliseo Martinez. In the second row, Remigio Garofano is ready to give everything in front of all his share. At his side, the English James Poole. When the lights turn green, Futrell gains the lead in front of Remigio Garofano and Pietro Mazzola, who snuck in from the third row. The small head group is compact in the second lap, while Poole, Fernandez and Martinez chase the top trio from the distance. During the third lap, Garofano tries to attack Futrell for the first position, while Mazzola records the fastest lap of the race. During lap 5 out of 8, Remigio Garofano manages to find a breach and gains command of the race. Futrell and Mazzola remain right behind his back, while Martinez, Poole and Schott keep on chasing them. But things change suddenly during the last lap. While changing trajectory, Futrell bumps Garofano, who spins out of the track. Futrell continues up to the finish line, but will be penalized. The final victory goes to the Italian Pietro Mazzola. Second place is awarded to the Spanish Eliseo Martinez, while Poole comes in third. A plethora of emotion is on show on the podium, from Garofano's tear of frustrations to the satisfaction of Mazzola. The KF3 drivers are already deployed on the grid and are ready to compete in the second final of the Master. George Russell on Intrepid occupies the pole position. At his side, the Italian Alessio Lorandi on Tony Kart. In the second row, the Canadian Lance Stroll on Zanardi, flanked by Alessio Piccini, official Cosmic driver. When the drivers floor it, Russell is fast, but Stroll is faster. At the first braking point, the Canadian overtakes him and gains the lead of the race. Some contacts behind the Canadian driver allow Lance Stroll to conquer a good advantage over his opponents, and despite attempts by Russell, the advantage of Stroll soon turns unbridgeable. Behind the first two positions, Simone Conati, Callum Millett, Alessio Lorandi and Luca Coberi are on the display. In the 8th out of 12 laps, Lorandi attacks Illett for the 4th position. 2 laps later, Lorandi slips on the side of Conati and earns the 3rd place. Stroll and Russell are too far, but Lorandi does not give up and begins to grind faster laps in an attempt to reach Russell. Eventually, Lance Stroll wins his first WSK final. Behind him, the English Russell and, half a second later, on the first step of the podium, Alessio Lorandi. Here on the podium, the Canadian driver's satisfaction is palpable. The guy is already under Ferrari's attention, and he is at our microphones for his first interview as a winner.
Yeah, we worked so hard for this moment, all the team. Some frustrating moments and some happy moments. Last year, we came second in one of the races of the Euro Series, but this year we came away with the victory. And I remember looking over my shoulder and seeing there was no one behind, and it was a spectacular feeling, great feeling.
There is a lot of tension on the grid of the KF2, especially in the front row, where Max Verstappen is in pole position with Felice Etienne at his side. A healthy rivalry was born among the two. In the second row, there are the Norwegian Dennis Olsen and the Italian Stefano Cucco. At the green light, Verstappen, Olsen and Cucco dash forward, racing in a line, while Tiene has some troubles and passes in 4th place. Anger grows inside the Italian pilot because of the slow start, and he unleashes his rage during the first lap by overtaking Cucco and then putting Olsen in his scope. But the Norwegian is as fast as the Italian, and it will require Tiene 4 laps to overtake him. This time is enough for Verstappen to gain serious advantage through a series of record laps, to learn the Dutch over 3 seconds on Tiene. In the back rows, 2 wonderful performances can be spotted. The one of Danish Madsen Muller who, from group box number 34, climbs up to the 8th place, and the one of Tom Joyner. The Englishman, who started 17th, climbs up to the 3rd position, and incredibly turns 2nd when the bad luck strikes. And on the last corner of the last lap, Tienes kart has a mechanical failure. The podium is thus occupied: the fantastic Max Verstappen, a great Tom Joyner, and the gritty Dennis Olsen.
Yeah, I think it was a really good weekend. Especially the final was amazing. Everything was perfect. The engine, chassis. We're really happy.
For the final number 2 of KZ1, predictions lean toward Marco Artigot. The Italian driver is in pole position. At his side, the CRG veteran Belgian Jonathan Thonon, who didn't perform too well on the La Conca track. Arnaud Kozlinski and Rick Dresen start from the 2nd row. At the start, Artigot is as fast as lightning and earns the command. A very good start takes Dresen to the 2nd place. Kozlinski and Paolo De Conto are behind him. The challenge for victory soon turns into a family feud between Artigot and Dresen. The Belgian driver takes command of the race on the 3rd lap and leaves no gaps to Artigot, who must settle for the 2nd place. The misfortune of Thonon is worth mentioning. The Belgian driver was forced to retire when he was firmly in 3rd place. The final results are Rick Dresen winning his first race of the season ahead of Marco Artigot and Bas Lammers.
Yeah, after my bad race at La Conca, I'm really happy to be back in the front. We found a solution and it's good to be back in the front. I think Tony Carr was really strong this weekend because we arrived 1st and 2nd.
The last final to take to the track is the KZ2 one. In pole position, the Czech Jan Miderla, and at his side the Italian Francesco Celenta, both on Birel. In the 2nd row, Lennox Lamb and Leonardo Fuoco. At the green light, Celenta leaves all of the others behind, conquering the head of the race. In the back rows, Miderla is chased by Fuoco, Lennox Lamb and Dante. While Celenta tries to gain vantage on his adversaries, Lennox Lamb builds up a spectacular comeback, and in 4 laps time span, he climbs from the 4th place to the 2nd, eroding Celenta's vantage. From this point onwards, the race turns into a beautiful challenge between the English and the Italian drivers. In each braking point, Lennox Lamb tries to find a hole for his overtake. Looks like his CRG is slightly faster than the Birel of Celenta. But the Italian has an extraordinary competitive nature and fights hard. Finally, after a stunning final sprint, he gains the victory for just 14 thousandths of a second. The happiness of Francesco Celenta is overflowing. On the podium, along with the Italian, there are Lennox Lamb, very close to the title now, and Riccardo Negro. At the end of the 2nd round of WSK Master Series 2012, the ranking is as follows. In Mini 60, Leonardo Lorandi leads with 94 points, followed by Spaniard Eliseo Martinez at 80. Peter Mazzola in 3rd place with 70 points. In KF3, the Englishman George Russell commands with 120 points, followed by his compatriot Callum Millett with 107 points. 3rd place for the Canadian Lance Stroll with 77 points. In KF2, the Dutchman Max Verstappen took the lead in the standings with 135 points. 2nd place, 105 points, Felice Tiene. 3rd place for the English Tom Joyner with a score of 58. In KZ2, it is English Jordan Lennox Lamb to lead the standings by 119 points. 2nd place is Marco Zanchetta with 85 points. 3rd, the Czech Jan Miderla going by a score of 62 points. Finally, the KZ1, with Marco Artigot, which leads with 100 points, followed by the Frenchman Arnaud Kozlinski with 82 points. 3rd place for Rick Dresen, reporting 73 points. It will be the last of the WSK Master Series rounds to designate the champions of the 2012 season. Next rendezvous is set for next April the 1st on the track of Seven Lakes in Castelletto di Branduzzo near Pavia.